The only way to send money electronically has always been to rely on a centralized intermediary, say someone like PayPal. How do we randomly select a miner amongst all the miners on the network to play this role, to be kind of like PayPal for a short 10-minute period? Well, it's actually through hash functions. A hash function is a mathematical function. It's rather like what you would have learned in grade school, just more complicated. You take your input data, and that could be anything that can be represented in ones and zeros. So it could be just the letter A. You take the letter A and you cut and paste it into the hash function. What's going to come out the other side? What is Y if that's X? What's going to come out is actually a 64-character string. It'll look like a bunch of random letters and numbers, but it will be unique and perfectly correlate to the letter A. So if someone across the world takes the character A, cuts and pastes it into the same hash function, they'll get the same answer. It's just math. If you cut and paste the complete works of William Shakespeare into the same hash function, you'll still get a 64-character string. It won't be longer because your input data was longer. It'll be very similar to the hash of the letter A. The particular letters and numbers and seemingly random text will be different than the one before, but it'll just be 64 characters long. And again, if somebody did that same function with that same input, the William Shakespeare through the same hash function, they'll get the same result you got when you ran that equation. So what is a Bitcoin miner actually hashing? They're not hashing the letter A, they're not hashing the complete works of William Shakespeare. They're hashing all of the validly signed transaction data that they just accumulated by listening to the peer-to-peer network over the last 10 minutes. And they're also hashing a reference to the previous block in the blockchain. And this is how they're actually chained together. This block references the previous block. And they're also hashing one third thing, and that's a random number. And each time they run all this data through the hash function, they're going to change the random number slightly to get a different output. They're trying to get an output that's kind of like flipping a coin heads up 20 times in a row. In Bitcoin, we use that kind of entropy to randomly select winners in this open competition to beat PayPal for 10 minutes. And we do it using a hash function.